What is up, Leaderboard crew? Tommy Marquez here, back again after a couple-week break, bringing you guys a special Masters edition of Inside the Leaderboard presented by Bear Complex. Now, the Masters competition is in its 9th year, and as we brace for the games in a couple of weeks, I wanted to highlight some of the all-time best in the division, as well as showcase the evolution of the competition itself. Now, staying at the top of any sport is certainly impressive, but there are a few athletes in particular that have been there longer than anyone. These are the top 5 all-time in terms of games qualifications and appearances, including this year. It should come as no surprise that Lynn Natman is at the top, having competed at every single Masters competition at the games. Ron Ortiz is tops for the men, 1 appearance behind her with 8. 2 Marys, Mary Padromedes and Mary Schwing, are tied in 3rd with 7. All 7 of Mary Schwing's appearances are consecutive and have come in the 60-plus category. Once you qualify and get to the games, though, the ultimate goal of winning is a lot harder to come by. Unless you're one of these athletes at the top of our all-time wins list. And as far as the Masters division goes, one man stands alone at the top. Sean Ramirez has 4 consecutive championships in the 40 to 44 division, and he's chasing a 5th this year. There's a 4-way tie for 2nd between Susan Clark, Mary Beth Padromedes, Will Powell, and Scott Olson. Mary Beth and Powell have a chance to try and join Ramirez this year with 4 wins by competing at the games in 2018, and Susan Clark's 3 wins have come in her only 3 appearances at the games thus far, going 3 for 3 as far as championships go for Clark. Now, being at the top of the competition the way these athletes have been takes a seriously impressive amount of fitness, and it's made even perhaps more so when you consider the tremendous leaps and bounds that the Masters competition as a whole has made since the beginning. Back in its inaugural year in 2010, the season included 2 stages, a makeshift regionals and the games, but included just 6 tests overall, and in total, there were 10 unique movements included across the season. And just for the sake of clarity, I consider variations of similar movements unique. A burpee is unique from a burpee box jump, or a designated power snatch from a full snatch. 2011 brought the first major change with the advent of the Open, and although there were still 2 stages of competition, the overall test grew significantly in size and variety. The number of tests jumped up to 11, and the number of unique movements more than doubled. Fast forward to 2014, and the next big change came in the form of another stage of competition in the online qualifier. Now, with 3 stages of competition, the number of tests grew to 17, and 27 unique movements were included along the way. Last year in 2017, some nuance between divisions in terms of workload was introduced, as the programming at the games for the 50-plus divisions differed from that of the younger divisions. Depending on your age, there were between 17 and 19 tests and more than 30 unique movements involved in determining the fittest Masters on Earth, ranging from an obstacle course to handstand walk to running, swimming, and everything in between. It's crazy to see the full journey of the Masters in retrospect, with every major step along the way resulting in a broader, more comprehensive test of fitness. But the reality is that none of this happens unless the athletes consistently proved up for the challenge. Now, these athletes, some old enough to be grandparents, have consistently year in and year out bucked society's notion that the scope of their health and fitness is limited. And in doing so, they've given everyone, myself included, something to certainly strive for in the coming years. And if you want to watch these athletes throw down, tickets are still available for the CrossFit Games. You can get those at games.crossfit.com. And if you want to get some accommodations and lodging, head on over to crossfithotels.com. Should get you guys squared away. That's going to do it for this edition of Inside the Leaderboard, presented by Bear Complex. We'll see you guys next time.